took a really long break. I guess I was a little bit busy with my day job and trying to figure out what my business idea is. And I even had an angel investor who is interested to talk to me at least. So that gave me a real big encouragement to really do the things I want to do. And I feel like I also didn't have a lot of a motivation, or like I didn't have any inspiration to share what I wanted to share. But since some of my friends have asked me to just play the cello and show them what it is and stuff, then I did it in a really raw way. Because after all, I've only been in and out like weekly lessons or less. Now it's like once in 2 weeks. And it's only been 7 months since I've picked up cello, so I want to keep it raw so that you can understand, or at least like feel how it is to really try something new. I know I've seen like, I mean, I've always learned from professionals on YouTube on how to really, keep active with your fingers, and is there a really correct position on top of the tutorials that I go for, or the lessons that I go with a cellist teacher. But that's just me. I'm so into really figuring out and finding the nuts and bolts of things so that I can play better, or at least be more in touch with it. So as my presentation to you guys just now earlier, I was just a little bit late. I mean, like it's Christmas and stuff, but it takes very long to practice, by the way. So I still chose to just play the Christmas songs despite it being January at this moment, because that's all I practiced. And life is such, I feel. A lot of times I understand that social media always have this platform for us to feel so compelled to show the best side of us, the best sides of us, and all the things. But the hard work and things that go through when we're learning to be good, is really important to me. Because if I can be more assured that there is a learning path, rather than me trying to just like go straight into professional level, and then if it's too overwhelming, I won't do it. So that's the point of me showing you this raw presentation of how I like play the song. And I actually learned some of the songs over a month, but I practice it like maybe 15 minutes or less, or I mean on a daily basis about 15 minutes, but okay. And there's so many things that came to my mind as I wanted to share this whole thing with you guys. Firstly, I think at the moment all of us are still refining ourselves, no matter how broad or how minute the refinement might be. And I'm in a major refinement mode. Like I keep on figuring out what my business idea is to my angel investor. But this angel investor is so special, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure some of the angel investors are looking at the founder more than the business. But at the end of the day, they must know where the money goes to. So I've always had this challenge in me where I feel a lot of times where I want to be honest, but I'm so afraid to be honest, right? To be authentic with my real needs and my real vulnerabilities. But at the same time, that is exactly what I need to present as a business idea to my angel investors, who is trying to solve a 20-30 year later kind of solution. And today I really wanted to share a bit of how it is. And if you can give any comments to me, I'll be so grateful, because I figure out that I get a lot of inspirations from interactions, whether it's from the same people that I trust, or with like basic interactions with people where we hi bye and then I try to ask a little bit more. Probing is really pretty natural to me. I guess that's why I was so so into taking a coaching course. Still figuring out between ICF and ICI. ICF is a little bit more popular, right? Where you can get jobs and actually get an income out of it. But ICI is also very important. And I found a team of facilitators who are really, really good at honing my skills on coaching. And that's really important to me. Quality, man. Quality over like paper, of course. And it's time for me to trust the word of mouth marketing, because if I can deliver well, there's no need to really worry about whether I should get a popular course or not, right? Okay, so I just answered my own question, thanks. But in essence, I really find it important to at least contemplate what my true talents are. On a daily basis, I'm not gonna say that I really understand what I can do for the society, or at least for myself. But I can be assured that I really want to find out. That's for sure. And sometimes it takes a bit of doing nothing. I have really, really good friends around me, and even people who are willing to be my business partners to support me and motivate me and question me, this kind of really important things. So I feel that every one of us should get a chance to be aware that we also have this kind of support system where in times of need, it may be a bit painful, honestly. It's not like hunky-dory where, wow, this person is of support to me, means this person is really like, embracing me and trying to comfort me and stuff like that. But it's about refinement. Sometimes refinement is polishing, right? Polishing doesn't really sound very comforting, honestly. Yeah. But the important thing is to have that willingness, to seek for happiness, which is why I started to really work on my website on law of large happiness. It's never the law of large numbers. How much money can we earn? How many hours can we spend? And honestly, in today's conversation with my mom, I was really touched by what she said. She mentioned to me, after going through cancer, a few years ago, she realized that the whole point of life is just to be happy, right? And that she is really comforted by the fact that she has a second chance to do everything, according to what she understands as happiness instead. Yeah. And last year, in 2023, I actually planned a trip for the four of us. So my father, my mother, my aunt, my youngest aunt, and me, going to Germany to visit my auntie, who has married a German for like 40 years. So it's almost like a family visit, right, to Germany. And it was really, really cool, I would say. Of course, there are lots of stressful moments where I need to manage, like my parents, and then their fears of getting the rental car and stuff, and we didn't get it. There's a lot of hiccups on the way. But today, when she shared with me that she was so contented and so feeling so fulfilled that she is able to travel to Germany, to Europe, because we went to a few cities, with her daughter, with her husband, and the people that are close to her. And she was like, this kind of happiness can only come from within. I was really, really touched. But I make it a point not to tear up every time people say touching things. So I was like really holding my ground. But now that I get a chance to reflect and speak, I truly feel that this is all that we are going for. Besides all the distractions that we need to earn enough money, accumulate wealth, and do a lot of things. And I totally agree, because this material has come to this state. And I'm finding a way to go against the grain, to solve a problem that comes 20, 30 years later. Maybe even sooner, I don't know. But I definitely want to solve something that is coming in the future. because I can honestly say that I'm very comfortable envisioning. I can tell stories from a vision that I've imagined. That's a very layman term. But my vision can be understood by people, which means that it can be more realistic than it is. It's just that I really need the alliance. I really need someone that I can truly trust that is also walking the same path as me. It's never an easy game, right, where you need to get people to work along with you, and this person is gonna really like take care of everything that you're most fearful of. Maybe there are a lot of things I can do effortlessly, but there are many even more things that I cannot do, which means I really need the true alliances to help me. And most of it all, it's all about perception. Some of the alliances look like enemies and they really test you. But it's one of the ways to also build, to have this refinement in me, so that I can, continue building on the ideas, which is the only thing that really matters. My angel investor was asking me, why don't you put down the fact that you really want to get out of the corporate world, and then you want to run a business and track your emotions about it. Because at the end of the day, when you start to feel like you really are not meant, you really don't want to get out of your monthly salary and then go and venture into something that has quite a high risk of no return in that sense, in this day, then so be it. Because all the angel investor wanted out of me was honesty. So whatever topics that we go through, I need to be honest with whatever is running through my mind. And from that moment on, I have been really reflecting and figuring out whether I really truly want this business, where I want to change the way people view their career, the way people want to develop themselves into their true talents that came from within, from the day they were born. So there are lots of things that we can do when we are comfortable with ourselves. And rest assured, okay, I'm not there yet. It's just that I'm willing to keep on trying to figure that out. And that is enough motivation for me to just share with the next person that let's try it together, because it's so much easier to do it together with people actually. But my main point is that, at the end of the day, we don't want to do things at our deathbed to realize that we didn't even want to do it in the first place. It's all because the whole entire world was trying to tell us to do the same thing. So, I've come a long way as I was reflecting throughout all these years when I started to figure out that I really want to do something out of my own talent rather than listening to what others want out of me. It's just been a few years, but I've been so grateful. After that, the refinement that I have, and I have been put out of like anxiety most of the times. Of course I get them still, it's sort of like a pattern that I need to get used to, but I am better at the responses towards it. So that's all. It's not that I'm trying to change myself entirely, but I can broaden my perspective about things so that I can understand how I can manage it from an even broader perspective of my identity. Whether it's egoistic, whether it's like for the higher purpose or whatever, but at least I can broaden it to the point that I can move on, I can really refine myself as the days go by, and according to your religion, maybe I'll be reborn again and trying a few, just moving the needle point. It really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I agree with my mom a lot. It's just about being happy. It can be a very sad process, but I could still feel joy in it. Like I could still feel happy that I'm aware of this pain, of this sadness, and I can do something about it. Like I can figure out what is it that I can do better. If it's not better, it's something that makes me feel more comforted. Just like that. Because life is really so brief. My mom was telling me, she was like so humbled by the fact that a few decades is really so brief. There's really so many things that we can let go of just to understand this happiness. I feel so inspired by what my mom said this morning, or at least this afternoon. And I feel so happy that I've come this far to figure out a little bit more about what I can do. I still have a lot of fears, and I encourage you to speak to me, to reach out to me, to tell me things, whether you want to be critical or not. I will try my best, to really take it in as constructive. But all in all, I feel that I really need a lot of people to build my vision. So if you're really interested and you have watched this video, please just find a way to reach out to me. I'm sure you will. And tell me more of your own life, and what is it that we can do a peer-to-peer exchange in terms of like our experiences, so that we can be happier in this world. 20-30 years later, will money really be the issue? I don't know. I think a lot of us are starting to realize that money is not the issue, isn't it? I understand the importance of money, because without that we can't pay people to work for me. If I'm a business owner, I will feel so responsible for everyone's salary. But I had to do something about this world, right? In the meantime. So I'm checking out. So happy to catch up with you this time again. And I hope that you have enjoyed this raw presentation of mine, as well as some reflection about everything. And I'll catch you again. I hope to be more frequent with my sharing, and hope that you'll be more frequent with your comments and also your interaction with me, because I'm so happy to meet you. All right. Good night. See ya.